I'm Summer Morris, CPA, ex-corporate accounting girl and health coach turned CEO of a multi-six-figure business while helping others build financial security, healthier habits, and a better quality of life. It wasn't that long ago I lacked the confidence, the right plan, and time to focus on growing my small but mighty business, while also having time for healthy activities I wanted to pursue away from my desk. Fast forward past many failures and lessons learned, and you'll see the healthier business and lifestyle I have today. One that changes lives while giving me more freedom than I ever thought possible. I created the Fit to Endure podcast to share simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. So if you're looking to feel better, live a healthier life without blowing your budget, start a side hustle, or train for your next race, this show will help you make an impact and achieve your goals without creating the overwhelm and burnout that makes you want to quit. You ready? Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Fit to Endure podcast. I'm glad you're here. I'm curious, do you create a list of what you need to do for your day? If so, do you ever find your list grows so long that by the end of the day, you feel like nothing got done, that your day is unfinished because you were not able to accomplish what you planned to complete? And that you end up doing the same thing, staring at another never-ending list the next day? I don't know about you, but that sounds like a path to burnout frustration to me. If that's you too, then you are in for a treat, my friend. Because in today's episode, we're going to explore the powerful concept of winning the day with your big three. We'll look at how you can narrow down your to-do list to 3 key tasks so you can win your day. This can help you increase your focus while reducing stress and wasted energy. So grab a pen and paper or today's free downloadable handout at summermorris.com/9 and let's dive in. Let's start by going back in time together. Now, if you want to imagine that old school phone booth that Bill and Ted used to dive back into the past, go for it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I forgive you. Anyway, let's go back a few days to last Wednesday. Last Wednesday could have been a crazy day for me, but it wasn't. In fact, I won the day. I planned to be out of the office Thursday and Friday to prepare for and participate in an out-of-town photo shoot for the next round of website photos. And there's surprisingly a lot to do to prepare for a photo shoot outside the normal course of a workday. And I'm thankful for a little yet powerful thing called my Big Three list. The title of this episode was inspired by Andy Frisella, the host of the MF CEO podcast, and a concept he shares on his podcast. I'll let you imagine what the MF stands for. And if you're thinking R-rated, you're on the right track. Well, I heard his episode around 2016, and I've been using the tool ever since. He calls it the Power List. It's the big things he needs to get done that day. He learned the concept from his dad. He writes down 3 to 5 of the most important things he needs to do that day to move him closer to the long-term goals and visions. The 3 to 5 things can be related to your work projects, your personal goals, any of it. Then you do them one by one. His dad had a saying for it: make the list, do the list, win the day. Again, make the list, do the list, win the day. Now, I write mine on a piece of paper and keep that paper on my desk or in my purse if I'm headed out the door. The days I get the 3 tasks done are winners. The days I don't are not winners. They're lessons. And I can use those 3 questions I've shared with you before. What worked? What didn't work? And what would I do differently? They're the questions that help me identify where I went off track so I can win the next day. So on those days that were not winners, I can reflect on, were my 3 big tasks too big to accomplish in one day? Did I fail to factor in the time I already allocated to Zoom meetings with clients or a group open water swim I'd previously committed to with a separate group? Since long-term achievement depends on our short-term actions involve simply identifying the next actions you need to take and taking them. And we can use our Big Three list to identify our daily short-term actions while ensuring they are a task within reach. And when you decide your Big Three tasks for the day, they must be specific. Now, to help you along, I'm going to share some examples of my Big Three list after this brief commercial break. When dieting and stress become unmanageable, try evidence-based tools to tackle weight loss and feelings of overwhelm in a healthier way with the Health and Weight Reset. This online group coaching program includes a simple, done-for-you eating, movement, and stress management plan, plus evidence-based tools, support, and accountability. This program is not about counting calories or portion control. It's not about buying special potions or packaged foods. It's about learning what works for your unique body and mindset and what doesn't, so you can feel better, have more energy, and become a better, healthier version of you. The program is risk-free with a 100% money-back guarantee that you will feel better after completing this program. Learn more at summermorris.com/reset. That's summermorris.com/RESET. Welcome back. Okay, for example, my big 3 list for Wednesday was number 1, upload podcast episode number 8 to the public. 2, complete a specific client's tax return because I promised I would have a draft to them that day. 3, write a list of items I need to shop for and pack for the photo shoot. These 3 tasks were related to my current business, the tax return, my communications, the podcast episode, and future goals like the photos for the revised health and weight reset course. My list for Thursday, the day before the photo shoot, was number 1, get my toenails painted. Now, this normally isn't a task that's hugely important to me, but given the unsightly bruises that several of my toes had from the recent long-distance runs and the desire not to disgust my photographer or gross you out when you see the future photos, this became my number 1 get-her-done task. Whew, check that one off the list. Number 2, pack the clothes, kitchen props, and makeup for the photo shoot. And then number 3 for Thursday was write episode number 9 of the podcast, which you're listening to right now, so I would have it ready for me to record the day after the photo shoot. It is as simple as that. Write down the 3 items that must be done today to set you up for success tomorrow, and go do them. It doesn't mean the other items on your to-do list are unimportant. It simply acknowledges that you can't get them all done in one day, and trying to do so will only create added stress, anxiousness, and overwhelm. So the trick is to make the list and do it. Now, no, there's a reason why you picked those 3 things for your day. Honor your big 3 list and get those 3 things done. After they're done, you've won the day. Celebrate. And then from there, if you want to continue on with other things, other tasks, great. But at least you got the 3 things you felt you really needed to get done for that day. Now, if you're like me and thinking this will never work, a list of 3 things, how am I ever going to move forward with a list of 3 things? Well, I invite you to do what I did. Give it a try for 2 weeks. If it worked, great, keep with it. If not, find out why it's not working. Was it that the 3 things on your list were too big, too broad? Or was it that you were trying to add 3 things when you already had so many other things on your plate? The reason I love the big 3 list is that we live in a world filled with distractions and endless to-do lists, and that can often leave us feeling overwhelmed and unfocused. But with the big 3, if you give it a try, you might find it completely transforms your productivity, your mindset, and your energy level like it did for me, simply by narrowing your focus to 3 key things. I've been using the big 3 list for several years now, and have found it incredibly helpful in reducing the anxiety I used to feel about my never-ending to-do list. So to recap, make yourself sit down and write the list. Even if you're thinking, okay, I got the 3 things in my head, still write them down. It's so helpful to write them down. Then do what you need to do to get those tasks done and cross them off the list. Now, I find this useful in packing and getting ready for a trip. It's useful in getting things done or small projects at work or at home. And it can help you realize your biggest goals, dreams, and aspirations if done consistently through time. But you need to do it. And if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm too creative or too busy or too free-spirited to be bogged down by a list, think again. Put your creative activities on the list to ensure you make the time and space you need for them. And if you effectively use the list to complete other responsibilities, you may even find you have more time, energy, and resources for those creative efforts you want to do. To wrap up, narrowing your focus to your big 3 list can be a game changer in how you approach your work and life. Focusing on what truly matters can increase your productivity, profitability, and overall sense of fulfillment. So why not give it a try and see the positive impact it can have in your daily routine? Well, my friends, that's all for today's episode of the Fit to Endure podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to focus on the big three, eliminate those distractions, and watch your productivity and energy soar. And why not make one of your big three subscribing to this podcast? That way you'll receive next week's episode effortlessly delivered to the app you use for podcasts. Now go win the day and namaste. Bye-bye.